It's free real estate. Or, kind of like it. You guys be the judge whether this is a free real estate deal or near it. This is a place that I tell people I bought for $250. And I'm going to break the whole entire deal down, and you guys tell me whether it's $250 or it's more than that. This is one of my more happy properties, and what I mean by that is this was a dump. Holy goodness, it was a dump before I bought it. This is not a People of the Rock house, but it is a People of the Spoon, if you know what I mean. Maybe we could call them Spoonies. I don't know. That sounds like a fun name for such a terrible condition. But anyway, this was one of the largest dealers in the entirety of Southern Ohio, or at least what I've been told. He used to live here. And I bought this place off of the last owner. And like I said, we'll break this deal down. I remember when I was like, eight years old, my brother and I, we watched Batman and X-Men on Fox Kids. And then after that, there would always be a Carlton Sheets infomercial where he would tell people about how to get free real estate. So when I got into real estate, one of the things that I asked all these agents was, how do you get free real estate like Carlton Sheets? And what was so odd was no one in real estate knew what I was talking about or had never researched, gone to seminar or anything like that. They just said, that's a scam brand and it doesn't exist. And when I got really deep into investing, I was like, oh yeah, there's free real estate everywhere, but it's kind of weird and tricky. And this is one of those places, like I said, I got for $250. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's an older house. It's about 100 years old. We've got the nice old wood door casing, which had to be painted. I know, I hate myself for it. The floors here are garbage. They've been destroyed. So we went in and we put carpet. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can do this. We put carpet in. We put LVT in here. This LVT is kind of crappy. But I mean, it is what it is. But it was one of the largest dealers in all of Southern Ohio. I got it off the older landlord. He was tired. He had like 20 rentals-ish, and he had to get rid of this. And I emailed him. That's how I met the guy. Here's the bathroom here. It's really small. The window in here sucks, but I mean, it's not too bad. This is one of my, like I said, happier properties. Oh, so this is a duplex. If you go, I'll put in the description a link to my $300 rental. So there's one right next door to it. It was $300. I increased it to $350. This one in here will rent for about $500 a month. And then out this back door, hopefully it doesn't look too crappy. You guys can see it. If I unlock the door, there's a house. I don't know if you guys can see this house back here. The house came with this duplex. So it's 3 rentals that I got for $250. And I want to give you guys all the gory details about it so you can decide whether you want to do a free real estate deal or not. Because it's one of those things where I can tell people you can get free real estate, you can get free houses, but you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes? And this deal, like I said, one of the largest dealers, so I had to deal with him. I had to get him evicted. The landlord that owned this just could not deal with it anymore. The house in the back was empty. The other side was empty. No one wanted to live to one of the biggest sellers in central Southern Ohio. So no one wanted to live here other than the guy. He was paying $350 a month, and there were 13 people that lived in here or so, and they were mostly his clients. I had to go through an eviction, and I had to go through an eviction. He had tried to bring 13 witnesses against me in court, saying that I do not properly maintain my rentals. The judge threw it out immediately because I had done the no-fault eviction, which I guess is illegal now in California. So he's a no-fault eviction because I knew he had the money to pay whatever I asked. So back to the $250. Contacted the landlord. He gave, via email, he said, I want to get rid of this place. And I said, how about you give it to me? And he said, thought about it for a while, and he said, well, maybe. And I know the first question that people have is going to be, why would anybody give a piece of real estate away? So 3 units, only one's occupied, bringing in $350 a month. The dealer does pay rent. The taxes on this place are $1,400 a year. The former owner had not paid, that sucks. The former owner had not paid the taxes in quite some time. So he was behind on his taxes, I want to say $3,000. He had missed the 2 most recent mortgage payments with his bank. So he was kind of approaching a default situation. He owns this place making $350 a month. So what's the value of a rundown place with a dealer in it making $350 a month? It's not a whole lot, but there's a potential for it to be making money. You know, this one, like I said, $500 a month. The one next to it, $350. The house in back should be bringing $500 a month, but it's actually only bringing $475. That's a 2-bed, 1-bath, concrete built house. And so that's what, $1,350 a month is what this place should be bringing in. But the mortgage is due over, it's like $1,000 that was due on the mortgage, $3,000 on taxes. I'm going to try and put the actual numbers on the screen because right now I'm just quoting off the top of my head. He hadn't paid insurance on it in forever, and he was approaching a default situation. So I came in, I said, how about you give it to me? Now, once again, a lot of people say, you can't get free real estate. So I went to him and I said, I'm going to give you $250 to do something called a lease option. We'll put that at the bottom of the screen, and that's one of those things that you pay a lot of money to go to a seminar, and they give you this work packet, and it tells you how to do a lease option. You should be able to get on like Bigger Pockets or Rocket Lawyer or something like that and find the forms for probably free. I'm not going to put them on any of my websites because there's some legal liability if I give you guys a form. So I'm telling you, just go and find it yourself. If you're really serious about getting free real estate or doing a lease option deal, you can do it. The one thing I would say is lease options are really useful for high cost of living areas because it does give you control over somebody else's real estate. Now, a lease option is exactly what it sounds like. It's a lease with an option, or a master lease with an option. And when I say options, it's not one that you're going to raid your grandma's bank account retirement for and have very awkward Thanksgivings because you watched some posts on WSB on Reddit and you used all of her retirement money and bought options. They're not that kind of option. What an option is, it gives you the ability to pay a fixed price or a variable price for a piece of real estate in the future. The lease is exactly what it is. Most states will allow you to sign a contract called a master lease. Some states say it's like a commercial lease that gives you unlimited ability to control a property. Some would define it as a triple net lease or a commercial lease, meaning you get somebody to lease you property and you have unlimited rights to do whatever you want to with it. You can almost burn the place down if it's allowed for in the contract. But it also requires that you pay the mortgage. It makes you pay the taxes, insurance, and everything like that. So what I did on this property was I got the owner to sign a master lease with an option. I gave him $250 down as a option fee. I could have had it done for $0, but my attorney said, or not my attorney, my CPA said, Brandon, you need to pay this person $250 for tax reasons and stuff like that. So now I've got this property, it's a dump, and I have to catch up the mortgage payments and the taxes. Now, here's where it gets questionable, and you guys decide. Also, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like the video and consider subscribing to my channel because it allows me to post like in-depth real estate stuff without charging for it. I'm not selling a course or anything at this point. I've got a 2-page ebook that's free if you really want. It's just about boring investing and stuff like that. So, like the video and Weeble at the bottom. Follow the Weeble link too. Anyway, going back to the lease. So he signed this master lease, giving me unlimited rights to control the property how I want. $250 down. He owed about $1,000 on the mortgage. The mortgage payment's like $450 a month, so it was $900 plus two $50 late fees. He owed $3K in taxes, and I had to get new insurance for it. So in the state of Ohio, the county auditor will let you enter a payment program. So I went to them and said, can I make, it's like $300 a month payments for the next year to catch up on taxes? So I entered into that agreement. I went to the bank. I didn't have to pay the mortgage up to date. I could have kicked the can down the road a little bit, but I paid them the $1,000 they needed. The unit over here, the $350 unit, we had some carpet sitting in a warehouse. I put carpet in. I fixed that unit up for $500. That block house over there, I fixed it up for $500. Now I've got 2 rentals that are operating while I kick the guy out that lives here. And those are bringing in $850 a month. This specific unit here, I could have shuttered and just said, I'm not going to rent it out, but I chose to. I spent $8,000 fixing this unit up. We had to put new flooring in the whole thing. I had to redo the bathroom. I had to redo plumbing in here. We put washer dryer hookups. They were leaking into the basement. It was a really bad deal. So I'm all in $1,000 to catch the mortgage up and $8,000 to fix this unit up. Another $1,000 for the house in the back and the apartment over there. So I'm at $10,000 to fix the place up. Not to get the lease option, but to fix the place up. So I'm at $10,000 out of pocket, but only $250 actually to acquire the property. So did I spend $250 on it or not? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, you didn't spend $250. You really spent $10,000 to buy that property. I would disagree. I would say I spent $250 and then I had to pay some other things that were options. I didn't have to fix this place up as nice as I did. I could have just boarded the windows up, had 2 rentals for $1,000 and called it a day, but I wanted this one to look nice because everybody knew what was going on here. The guy that lived here that was selling, he would pay the ice cream truck man like $500 in the summer so all the kids would have ice cream. And then they wouldn't rat him out to the police, which the police knew about it, but he was so influential, they had a very hard time doing anything with him. But then here Brandon comes along, buys the property, and evicts him eventually. That took a while. It was a mess. So, as it is now, once I get this re-rented out, it'll be vacant for probably 2 weeks. I just took it back today, and I'm posting the video tomorrow once it gets edited, and this one will be rented pretty quickly. So $1,350 a month, though I pay $450-ish on the mortgage to the bank. I have a lease option, or I have a master lease with an option that lets me have unlimited control of the property. I can do whatever I want as long as I pay the mortgage and taxes and things like that. That's how we negotiated it. I pay the option, the lease fee, the master lease fee to the owner's bank. So I'm constantly paying down this mortgage. The mortgage last time I checked was down to $43,000. So I took the mortgage payment over, although it's still in his name. If it defaults, it's not in my name. It's not going to hurt my credit. It's going to hurt that poor guy's credit. And then the option is actually whatever the mortgage payoff is, which is kind of cool. So I get all the benefits of paying down the principal on a mortgage without any of my own credit. It's some other person's credit, and if it defaults, something terrible happens here, I'm really not very liable towards it. I'm sure there's some liability, but it's not much. So that's the story of how I did a $250 master lease with an option on this specific property, making $1,350 a month. Like I said, $450 is the mortgage, which takes us down to $900. Taxes and insurance is another $150 a month, which would take us down to what, $750 a month cash flow-ish on this property. I have $10,000, so my ROI on it's very, very good. If you use the baseline $10,000 between the mortgage catch-up, things like that, we'll post all these numbers at the bottom of the screen so you guys can make the decision. Is this a good investment? Did I do good for $250? I think the property's worth about $80,000. And with a $43,000 mortgage payoff, that means I have $37,000 in equity. $10,000 out of my pocket, I've got $27,000 in equity. But then the tenants have been paying it back, so my equity position is probably a little bit higher than that. So if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Instagram and Discord. See you later.